Boom, 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 boom,
Oh man, no. You should have.
boom, boom.
Let's play the whispers, man.
For what?
Whispers, rock steady. Steady rock it all night long. Until we've been through rock. Steady rocking to the break of dawn. Rock
I might belong
steady, steady rock
you.
it all
You
night
should
long. We can do
know
rock. Come on, man. Steady rocking to the
before I let
break of dawn.
go. Well, okay, fine. You don't know about Frankie Beverly. Here you go.
Say what? I can't hear shit. So you over there dancing,
Hey,
and I can't hear
hey.
nothing.
No, I know. That's all right.
Ain't
I
that
ain't
some
trying to
shit?
get us hemmed up. You trying to get us hemmed up? Is that the goal?
All you gotta do is put no cop. We don't own the copyrights.
That's not how that
Shit.
works. Who you talking to? You gonna tell me,
All you gotta do is say we ain't doing no copyright.
bro? It's not how that works. I'll put it
Hey,
on.
look, I see people
We
playing
not
music
own the
all the
rights to this
time,
music.
and what
Yada
they
yada
put
yada.
down in the
But I
little.
knew love would be
Hey,
complicated.
there you go.
I began to touch, but you wouldn't let it.
Let me see you do it, boy.
It
Let
never
me,
seemed
let
to
me.
be
Hey,
the
hey,
right
hey,
time.
hey,
Started
hey.
to give up.
Don't
Down
beef
to the
with me
limit,
now.
and then you
You got to
changed your
move for a big guy. All right, let's
mind.
do it, man.
Down.
You began to rock,
Steady,
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 rock
rocking
it
all
all
night
night
long.
long.
Then we began to
Do
rock.
the
Hey, hey, you
steady.
gotta
We don't
cut. You
own our
can't do too
copyrights
much
to that.
now. I can't
We
do
don't own the
too much
copyright.
now. Hey man,
I just said that we don't own the copyrights. They
hey,
can't
we
get
don't
us now.
own
They can't
copyright to
get
this
us now,
music.
cat daddy.
We are stealing music. We're stealing music. Here we go.
Steady, rock into the
Hey, do this
break
dance right here.
of
Make your
dawn.
shoulders go down like this.
You looked at me,
Oh hell no,
to
you just fucked
my
it all up.
surprise. You were too
No, see,
anticipating.
I can't fool with you, man. I can't fool with you.
Hey
Listen,
man, look, I got my boy Shock, man. I started bring Shock back a chest pie about five about
did
five
you
times
actually
ago
do
when I
it?
went home.
Did you
Every time
finally
I try
do
to
it,
get it,
man?
they get ate up.
You are just ridiculous. That's all
Hey,
that
tell
is.
Shock about the chest pie. Tell him do chest pie make it out of the
Hey
black
man,
home if you're trying to take it.
hey man, it's music. Ask Mr. Dean about my chest pie. Listen, listen. You need to work on falling through. If you're gonna throw chest pie around verbally, you got to bring a chest pie home to my man. Come
Every
on,
time I
man.
try to bring the
You could
chest
be
pie home, the
uh-huh,
chest pie get took.
uh-huh. You
People
could
eat it.
be you could be a chest pie dadgum ambassador to that region of the world, man. Come on, Dean.
They don't
Don't
really know about chest pie out here.
I know, but that's why you gotta follow through and bring the man the chest pie. What are you
Trying
doing?
to.
I should fine you for that. Don't say you're gonna do anything for anybody ever unless you're gonna follow through.
You can't find me
Mm-hmm.
for one damn thing because I just now cussed. So this is the only
Fine.
time you
Pay
can
the man.
find me.
Oh, that's true. We gotta add some more fines, man. We gotta add some fines for me whenever I'm
Yeah,
stepping out of line.
yeah, a lot of fines for
I'm
you.
trying to be, fair, I guess we could say. Let's talk a little bit about Super Bowl weekend, my man. Gonna talk a little bit about that. Gonna talk about coaching bad kids, okay? Because I think there's a there's a thought experiment going on right now that says that there's no such thing as a bad kid.
Oh bullshit.
Pay the man, major.
My bad.
Ooh.
My bad. Did I say that out loud?
You said that out loud. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. We're gonna talk about college pipeline. Shout out to your guy out there, Isaiah Smith. Like, yeah, we got some things to talk about, man. But listen, I'm gonna talk
Hey,
about this food thing I did this weekend, man. What you eat for the Super Bowl?
um, wings and pizza.
Wings and pizza.
Not for real. That's what I ate. And no
Man, listen.
alcohol because I ain't drinking. I'm not gonna drink a beer or nothing for the next 3 months. It's transformation. It's transformation 23. I told you that.
Ooh, I
No
like
alcohol.
this. I like this. Yeah, because let me tell you, I didn't drink it all, but I ate everything. Dean, everything. Okay.
I know you were drinking the damn orange fountain when we got on the show. You know that going against
it's all gone.
and that's a big ass fountain. That's a 1 liter.
2 liter, man.
All that damn sugar.
All that
You
shit.
just-
You know, sugar ain't really the problem. It's the high fructose corn syrup.
God damn it! I knew you.
Hey, the man.
I knew you finna come with some. How can I say that? High profile damn word to say that shit. It's sugar.
Hey, the man
It all
again.
breaks down to sugar, and it sets on your body for a long
Mhm.
time. And
Yeah,
you
man, I
knew
feel
this
it
was
too.
the year that you were supposed to do right, and you're not doing right.
Yeah,
And I got
man.
to stay on your ass.
I'm gonna get there. Hey, man, why you put me out in front of company?
Where company at? Oh, they know, man. We brothers, brother.
All right, so we'll work on that a little bit. But listen, man.
Hey, look, hold on,
He
hold on.
said, please come on, give Mr. Zulu his
I
daggone
got you,
chest
shot.
spot.
Look, shot.
Chest
Shot,
spot and
shot.
back.
I got to go back. I got to go back
Come
in
on.
May or March. It's one of them. Hell, I don't know.
More
Spur of the moment whenever I go back. We will get you one, shop.
Who is we? That's what I want to know. Who is we? Ain't nobody say nothing about we.
Hey, my sister done called me out.
So
That's
when
3
you come
months.
home for me and Angel Party, you not drinking.
That's 3
Oh,
months.
come
No, that'll be 3
on.
months. That'll be 3 months.
That'll
February,
be 3 months.
March, April, May. Oh, that actually be 4 months. I said for 3. So yeah,
So you'll be out in the clear.
I'd be out in the clip.
All right. ain't
I
nothing
got
wrong
you
with
for
that.
my sisters. I ain't gonna tell you how old it, but it's a milestone birthday for both of them.
Milestone. Oh, she finally turning 21. Congratulations,
Yeah.
big sis.
My big sister turned 21.
Tanya. Yeah, man. Well, look, we're gonna talk about a few things. Like I said, we're gonna debate whether or not there is such a thing as bad kids, and then talk about coaching bad kids. We started a little bit last week. We're gonna talk about the Super Bowl. That gum, congrats to them Chiefs, because I could not go for the Eagles. I am a Dallas Cowboys fan. My heart would not let me.
Before we talk about the Super Bowl,
get that man
can
his
I-
spot.
this been on my mind since last night, man.
Uh-oh.
Before we talk about Super Bowl, it's got to do with the Super Bowl, but it's not. It don't have to do with the game. But it's been on my mind since last night. Can I vent a little bit?
Dean, I want to save this bit. Let's go ahead and start the show. What do you say?
All right,
let's go.
All right.
Hey, welcome back to Let's Talk with Gales and Dean. I'm your boy Gales, and to my left, as usual, is
it's me, the insane Mr. Dean, and I got the vent real quick, but it's not about the game because the game was electrifying. You can come back on screen, Gales. I gotta ask you this too. Come back on screen, please. Come back on screen, Gales. Shit, now don't do that to me.
Pay the man. Go ahead.
Okay, listen to me. Are you listening? You cannot satisfy everybody. Okay? The bullshit that I've seen about the Rihanna performance
Pay the man
baffles me. The woman was up there 6 months pregnant and put on a damn good show. What in the hell more did y'all want from her? I seen, Rihanna could have gave more, it sucked. She's 6 months pregnant, going to high altitudes on that damn thing, which I'm scared of heights. So I don't think I'd have been at the top of the damn stadium on that damn thing, and you ain't got nothing to hold on to. And she did her damn thing. And you just couldn't satisfy everybody. Rihanna this, she didn't do that. She didn't do that. I want to see half of you women get pregnant and get out there and try to perform 30 damn minutes.
Hold on now.
Baby in your stomach.
Hold on now.
I don't think it'll be easy.
Hold on now. Wait a minute now. Because there's a bunch of trolls out there, and it's probably more so that than people's actual opinions. And then it has a
no. I've seen people on Facebook complain about
like I said, the second part of what I just said now is there's a snowball effect. The bots get out there and do what they do, and then people latch on without even realizing what they're saying. I want to know. I'm gonna ask you a question, Dean. Do you know when Rihanna was announced as a halftime show?
What, about 2 months ago?
See, I don't even know. Who was another announcement?
Think about 2 months ago. Either way, I thought, damn, I just dropped my gum out on live air.
Nobody said keep going.
Ain't that some shit?
That's the thing about
Anyway.
a live performance. You just keep going, man.
That's the
Come
thing.
on, 250
I think she did all right.
Betting on the Chiefs.
I think she did all right under the circumstances, but
Hold on,
you just can't.
you just can't act like you don't see Zulu that comment down there now. I won 250 yesterday betting on the Chiefs. What's it gonna take to get my pie? He should pay you to deliver that daggum pie. He been teasing you with it for so long.
We'll talk about tomorrow, Shaka. I see you tomorrow, big dog.
Oh, I like that. I like that. But yeah,
I see you tomorrow, big dog.
I bring up the announcement date because I feel like she knew she was pregnant, and maybe she should not have. Because look, I don't want to talk about people in front of company, but I feel like she may have been better off passing this year. That's all I'm saying. Because if you're gonna be pregnant, you're not gonna be able to put it out. You're not gonna be able to put the show on, right? But so then you have to kind of do a deep dive into like what actually makes Rihanna most of her money, which is I think what was it? It's Fenty, something. Her makeup and clothing line.
I mean, they don't even get paid for doing a halftime show anyway.
No, I'm not talking about making money there. Like the halftime show is just about giving your, it's an advertisement. It's a giant commercial for yourself, basically.
And we're gonna talk about the commercials because they suck this year.
Oh man, I know. It's like they was just like,
commercials suck this year.
But I like the Rihanna Travolta though. That one was funny.
Because the year that the Weeknd did it, I think he did too damn much.
No, see, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I love artists that go for it, man. And he absolutely.
But I'm just under her circumstances. She did all right show.
But think
pretty
about
good
this.
Show.
So if you think about like a Justin Timberlake who's performing all over the daggum stadium, wow, that's crazy. And you think about the Weeknd, like he put on makeup and stuff to get rumors started to lead up to the Super Bowl. You see what I'm saying?
He weird in the damn way.
Well, I mean, fine, but it's artistry right there. And I don't mind that at all. And like I said, like she's got a crazy amount of #1 hits. The music was great. I mean, you could tell it was dubbed and fine. Musicians great and small do that, right? The lip sync one all the way connecting, but that's okay too. Whatever, things happen. In our little outfit, we always have some technical difficulties. But yeah, you
think she was lip syncing?
I know she was lip syncing because the lip sync and the audio was off a couple of times. Yeah. But that's okay. Like people don't know this about Whitney Houston's rendition of the national anthem way back when we had Whitney Houston as a daggum, pre-show, right? And then you had Michael Jackson perform at halftime when my Cowboys won. Favorite Super Bowl of all time. I'm sorry.
How many years ago that 25?
Hey, man, get the crap out of here. Listen, I told myself, look, producer, we ain't gonna kick them off this week.
You do every other damn week. Shit. Anyway, let's talk about the Super Bowl.
Craig Jude says most people I saw complaining had some Viper shades on while sitting in their truck with their Make America Great Again hat on. Ooh. But let's leave that there, move along. And Zulu said, true. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got the people who are going to hate no matter what. 35 years ago. Get out of here, Zulu.
Damn, was it that long ago? I left off 10.
That long ago. I'm 37. Like, I can vividly remember watching that game. And
but we was kids, though. We didn't see it in our teens.
We were children. Listen.
And probably would never see it again in life, to be honest.
Fan I am. I'm talking about a loyal fan. We ain't won nothing almost 3 decades. And, still ride with my boys.
I thought this year that y'all had the best chance with that type of team that y'all had. I ain't gonna lie. I even told my cousin Tame that. I really did.
Dak Prescott cannot continue to be a coin flip. You get either the best quarterback in the league that week or one of the worst.
Guess what? Lamar Jackson is finna be available. Y'all better look at making that trade.
Look, hey man, that just did something to me. Whoo! Jerry paid that money.
If any team that can pull off that splash trade, Jerry Jones and Dallas Cowboys can pull off that splash trade. I'm just saying, that's just out there. But speaking of Super Bowl, let's get to Super Bowl.
Let's get to it.
Hey, I was impressed by both quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts put on a daggum show. What really, if you take him away from that Philadelphia team, I don't even think they score half of the points that they had. If you take him away, they don't. Not at
I
all.
mean, what did he get? 3 rushing touchdowns? I know there's sneaks, a lot of them, but was it 3?
Yeah, he had 3 rushing touchdowns. I think he threw for over 300 and some yards. Even after the fumble, he could have went over there and just been done. And he come back with like ice water in his veins and just, man, he never got routed. Dude is a good daggum quarterback. He's gonna be around for a while, man. I'm telling you, look, 5 quarterbacks that you're gonna keep hearing from in the NFL. 5. That's the future. And that was the 2 that played last night. That's Mahomes and Hurts. Our boy from Cincinnati. What's his name, man?
That go Joe Cool. What's he talking about?
Joe Cool, Lamar Jackson, and big boy from the Bills. Them five young quarterbacks is gonna make some noise in the league.
Trevor Lawrence off?
Man, I'm not on that Lawrence. Oh, my bad. Not one more. Old boy for the Chargers, Justin Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert. So we talk about out of all the people you named,
Trevor Lawrence in the top 10, but I'm not putting him up. I'm not putting him up in the 5 though.
He looks like the best quarterback in here. This guy says they win that game if Minshew played. Ooh, just kidding. Hurts needs to get that contract.
He really do. And like so you know how they say, I was listening to the radio station today, and they were joking around. Some Philly fans would be like, we need to get rid of him just because he didn't win the Super Bowl. They crazy as hell because you wouldn't have made it nowhere near the Super Bowl without Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a damn good quarterback. He's not just a running quarterback. He want to throw first and then run. But what I was more impressed with, they ran 7 or 8 quarterback sneaks and converted on all of them. It was one time Chris Jones jumped on his shoulder and he drove Chris Jones an extra 3 or 4 yards. That's
now,
sprint.
He was body surfing now. Don't do my man Jones.
Well, I mean, still.
Like, so yeah, he's
Chris
still
Jones.
Forward, but yeah, Jones is in the air, his feet were off the ground. Like that's never worked unless you're gonna go all the way over and drag him backwards.
All right.
But
I mean, they offensive line run that quarterback sneak to the perfection, man. Like,
so let's talk about those 2 heroes that offensive line. That's the best game I've seen the whole offensive line play together ever.
On
Some
both
of
sides.
their blocks, their hand placement, their pad level, their legs, the legs keep driving on the runs. Like, they are the truth, my man. That made me smile watching that.
Now, one thing that was pissing me off, in both sides, and you played offensive tackle, my friend, you cannot get a 2-second jump to take 2 steps back because them DNs are coming. And it wasn't just Philly doing it. Them tackles on Kansas City doing it too. The referees never called that false start. Both tackles was doing it. They was getting early jumps to beat that pass rush. Man, you got to stay there to that ball height. It was clear as day. You could see it, and the refs didn't call it. You can't do that, man.
The rules on the kick slide, that's why they teach the kick slide. Because the rules on the kick slide, if your shoulder pads remain, you can pick that foot up and readjust it.
Dude,
I'm saying, like, the technique of the kick slide is literally picking that leg up and getting a good fling backwards. Right?
But they would, man. He was, man.
No, because offensive tackles on this level, you're taught. Your coach, offensive tackles are taught to anticipate the count. For that very reason you stated, which those ends in the NFL are unbelievable.
All right, I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
I got a question for you because we know Tom Brady. I'm not even going to compare him to Tom Brady.
Frapping Tom Brady.
But is Mahomes the next guy to take over the reign of the NFL?
What do you mean to take over? Did you not see his contract a while back?
Yeah.
Did you not see his numbers after he was arguably one of the greatest offensive weapons a person can have?
His numbers was better this year without Tom.
Better. Say that again.
I'm on. Say it. I'm asking you. I say yeah. I was asking you.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He took over.
The man basically played on 1 foot after that injury. On 1 foot. That grass was terrible, Jeff. We're gonna get to that. But the man played on 1 foot and came out after halftime. I think he had 2 incomplete passes. It's like Kansas City went in and changed up their game plan, and Philly stayed with their game plan. Philly made no adjustments, and Kansas City made all the adjustments.
Oh, they made adjustments. So it's a thing in football, especially at this level, called late movement, right? So you show the offense one set, and you time it to get into your actual set, right? So, for instance, you may have somebody run with the the motion, right, which is show man, but then you'll have that same person drop into a zone. So a lot of late movement. So you can see that they did tweak it. It just don't matter when you're going against what Bomani Jones calls frapping Jordan. You know what I'm saying? It just simply did not matter. And him and Kelsey are on a whole new level when you talk about, like, I know exactly what my tight end, my best receiver, which let's talk about that for a minute. His best receiver is a frapping tight end, bro. You ain't seen that since
Is Kelsey really a tight end? Kelsey damn near a receiver.
If you watch that man block, he is definitely.
Oh yeah, he blocked, but hell, you got some receivers that block like it.
Receivers to get at, but I'm talking about this high caliber. Like, you can tell that he literally enjoys blocking. Like,
so what's the name?
The pancake was his favorite thing to do.
What do you call that position now? Like a tight end / receiver? They call it the hybrid, right?
I mean, I call it tight end hybrid. Fine.
Whatever. I mean, it's fine. I don't care either way. Mm-hmm. He's the best one in the game right now.
So a few Super Bowls back, you have Tom Brady and Belichick just decide, let's see what they do with this. We're gonna line Gronk out wide by himself. Good luck, fellas. So yeah, I mean, hybrid sounds pretty good to me, but my goodness, that man's a beast.
Hey, Kelsey got a little bit of soul to him. You see what he got in the end zone, and he stank it leg down. He was on
what the fuck? Yeah.
Hey man,
look. Shout out to my neighbors who, man, dude. You ever go to somebody's house and they just keep throwing food at you, and you try to be polite? No, I don't want to. No. Can I help? No, yeah, don't help clean. Don't do nothing.
South,
here's more food. Right. So shout out to I ain't gonna shout their names out, but man, shout out to y'all across the street. That was fantastic. The wife cooked. I definitely overate, bro. Whew.
What about, so I didn't play DN. I played DN in Pop Warner and shit. But I know, I don't know how frustrating it could be if you got this man right in your hands and he make two little moves and he out of it and you can't sack him. And they was getting to him. The pass rush from Philly was getting to him, but Pat Mahomes, that's the thing. He don't look to take off running. He runs side to side because he got his eyes downfield waiting for somebody to come open. And as a defender, as a D tackle and a DN, you know you right there, and you can't because you played them position, and you know you right there. You right there to get him, and you can't. Is that not frustrating?
Yeah. Probably one of the most frustrating things to me as a player, whether it was at Vandy or at Spring Hill, there was literally, man, that bucket set, right? You got your two wide receivers on both sides, one wide receiver back. You don't know which side he's going to, but he's just going to pop up and get it out of there. That drove me bananas. But, man, this is the Super Bowl where the teams were almost identical as far as stats, right? The records were identical, like the playmakers, being the quarterbacks were identical. Good D lines. What doesn't get talked about a lot is, man, watching those little corners out there, man. When they are fighting for that inside position and just riding the receiver out all the way through each possible route tree, whew, you can, man, that was some good football yesterday, Dean. That was some good
it was good. Football. Like it was a hell of a that was a hell of a game. AJ Brown showed up and showed out. Showed up. I can't be mad at him because he gone.
I know what you mad at.
I could be mad at the Titans organization and John Robinson for making their trade, but you can't be mad at AJ Brown. And this is what this guy can do. He was on the big stage. He showed up and showed out. Too bad he went into two-tone blue to do it, but hey, that story is written off. So I'm glad he came out there and showed out. That catch that Devontae Smith made on the sideline, that was a catch. That was a catch.
Yeah.
Them referees made some
that just the hold, I would have called that. personally.
No. So for
But-
the whole,
But it is up to it's the ref's discretion, right? So it's up to them whether or not they can call that. I mean, that's the power of the ref.
we'll put it like this: right call, wrong time to call it. Early in the fourth quarter,
Ooh.
yeah, because you missed that call against Juju earlier. Like I think it was like second quarter, third quarter. Juju was basically tackled. I think that was the makeup call for that call, but it was the right call because he held him, and I played safety. And I'm saying it's the right call. It's the wrong. You don't make a call under 2 minutes when the game on the line.
But we have the
You don't
rare
make a call.
occasion where the safety actually admitted that, like, yeah, I did hold him, right? So he's not even like blaming refs or anything. He took accountability.
I mean, he took
for that.
accountability, but as a former DB, you gonna tug, you gonna pull, you gonna do it all. Like, because you gotta think, man, you're going against some receivers that's just blazing fast. And even though you fast, they gotta. I feel the receivers always got an advantage over cornerback because they got a head start to take off straight. We got the back pedal and turn your hips and run. So the receiver got the advantage anyway. So of course, it's gonna be some bumping, it's gonna be some pulling, and I don't think it all should be getting called. But in that situation, under 2 minutes, you don't call that. You let this
You
shit
don't
go.
call it.
You don't let it. It was the right call. It was the wrong time to call it. You don't call it. Not with the game on the line, bro. That call cost. I ain't gonna say it cost the Eagles Super Bowl, but it was a deciding factor in that game. It was a deciding factor in that game. Because if you don't make that call, I think it's like 3rd and long or 4th and long. So now you got a longer field goal to go with more time for the Eagles to go down and either go for the time field goal or go for the win. And the way they were moving the ball, they could have possibly went for the win. So because I think they'd have got that ball back. If they go and kick that field goal, I think the Eagles would have got the ball back with like a minute and 20 something left with one timeout. But that call, they had to burn a timeout, which was their last one. And Kansas City get moved close, and all they did was milk the clock down, and boom, 35-yard field goal, you win the Super Bowl. So you don't make that call. Not at that point in time in the game. Early in the fourth, first, second, third, yeah. Early in the fourth, yeah. Under 2 minutes, nah. Let that go.
I agree with all that, man. Because one thing it's almost like a newscaster in journalism. You never want to make the story about yourself. As a referee, you never want to be in that spot and making that call. And well, I mean, it is what it is. Let's celebrate the greatness of Mahomes. Shout out to Bieniemy. I never say his name right.
Bieniemy.
Oh, Eric Bieniemy.
This is one of my thoughts, right? Because before the game, I seen someone, Andy Reid, would say he might retire after this.
Get out of here.
I don't think he will. Andy Reid loves the game too much.
But
if he did, instead of going out trying to fire a home run splash, I think you got your man right there and waiting next to you calling plays.
You got your man. Because those players believe in that dude's system.
And I think that's why that guy haven't took a head coaching job nowhere else, because I think he know it's his show whenever Andy Reid decides to go.
Huh. See, I'm not sure that has he gotten an offer? I know he's taking some
team they hot on him now. We know like 2 years ago he's the top name for NFL and college. I don't think he entertained none of them. Then they dropped back on him, like Houston, Texas. They were going to go for him, and then they didn't, because that's where all the stuff came up about he should have got the coaching job. But I think Eric Bieniemy know. We don't know what goes on behind them doors. Him and Andy Reid are pretty close. I think he got to know he got to be the guy in waiting. I don't see another coach coming in there and doing what they're doing if you get rid of Eric Bieniemy. I don't. Even though with the greatness of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, they got a chemistry. They all got a chemistry together. And I think if you get rid of Bieniemy, it's going to be a little harder. So if Andy Reid was to decide to retire, which I think he'll come back for one more year. He's 64 years old, but I think he'll come back for one more year. Eric Bieniemy, your man to take over. That's just me. I could be wrong, but that's just me.
But some of the bigger things I like pointing out, like again, that Brian Flores situation down there in Miami. Whew. And then, somehow Belichick knowing that the New York Giants have made their decision on the coach and text the wrong Brian to congratulate him before he even had a dadgum interview.
Yeah.
Right.
I wonder did
But
he
now-
mean to text the wrong Brian?
See, I like to think, just for me, I like to romanticize it a little bit and think like, oh, I'm kind of snitch by making a mistake and texting the wrong Brian, because I don't see him making. I mean, he's human. It's possible, but I think he did that just to kind of give him a heads up. But the lawsuit quickly settled. He had a made-up position up there with the Steelers, did very well, and now he's going to be the defensive coordinator for the Vikings.
So you mean to tell me I'm speaking to you.
Me.
You got 3 or 4 Bryans that you friends with.
Yeah.
Okay. So you gonna put them all as Brian in your phone? You ain't gonna put like a letter their last name out the side or
It's
a nickname or one of them?
It's not us. You're in my phone right now as the Dean, literally.
Okay.
No, but I think for him.
So I'm saying you can't accidentally send me shit because there's only one the Dean in your phone. Come on, man. Quit trying to be nice for Belichick, man.
No, man. I'm just saying. No, I'm saying I think he did it on purpose. Like, because I like to think of that. But
of course he did it on purpose.
Let's wrap up the Super Bowl talk. Listen, this Rihanna stuff, back to what I was saying earlier. So she was announced in September. So she knew she was pregnant, right? She knew she was pregnant. She knew she was going to be showing, wasn't going to be able to put on the show. But you got to realize, like, if her goal was just to highlight her product, which she did, right? Putting on her little makeup in between, getting her number 1 hits, getting herself trending. Either way, because it don't matter if it's good or bad. As long as your name is in my mouth, I'm going to find a way to monetize it. I'm saying that's Rihanna's outlook, right? That gun billionaire, I believe. But you got to think, Dean, people don't get paid for that. But the Super Bowl got 113 million viewers. Bro, that is Mr. Beast numbers in a night. You hear me?
That's crazy.
Around 113 viewers. So it don't matter. It don't matter. Dean can't help it. Oh, man. Not Mark back in the chats. Money. So
they know me, man.
The bigger ever the humble Mr. Dean. Listen, the idea behind the whole Super Bowl, adding extra games. Hey, we got this Flores thing happen. Hey, we got this Deshaun Watson thing happen. Like, all that gets swept under the rug because it's such a monster as far as advertising. So it don't really matter what happens as long as you can maintain that, which I think is something good for us to know, because that's how you have to kind of approach things from that business mind, which a lot of athletes are doing, which, shout out to your guy, Jackson. Hope you get that money with Dallas. That'll be great.
Man,
look, lie to you.
Before we move that, we're going to talk about that next week, but just think about that. If one team could pull off that splash trade, I'm telling you. But before we move on to Super Bowl, one thing, and Shock said earlier in the chat, that field was terrible. Bro, I seen so many people slip. Yeah. And it's like, from both teams, if these guys had made that one move without slipping, it could have been some long runs, some long catch after, runs after catch. Like, and that was before the halftime show. So you can't blame it on debris. Like, what the hell did Arizona not take care of their field before that game? That ain't good. That ain't a good look.
It looked like it was actual grass for one.
But it looked
but it looked artificial turf. I mean, not artificial turf. What do you call that? That removable sod. Right. Hold on, you muted.
My bad. So, let me ask you. So when they roll that stuff on the field right there, roll on grass, do you think some of the rollers under there is causing it? Because, it's got rollers that they have to roll onto the field. So do you think it's certain spots of that field with them rollers that they cleats hit that and make them slide like it?
No, but it's all retractable.
Okay.
So, like, that's just for that's for moving a lot of stuff all at once or something real heavy. And then they recede. So I don't think the rollers were the problem. I just think whatever they chose, because even after halftime with players, you saw that pile of cleats, right? the pile of cleats. At first they try to change, the studs and everything, and then they change cleats altogether, and we're still slipping. Like, it's not so strange for them to slip in the painted areas. NFL logo, the Super Bowl.
I don't know, man. There was a lot of slipping in that paint, though.
But that's not. I mean, that's normal, right? That's normal. So any coach at that level, college or football, I mean, any level, really, the coach's notes are always when you're in the painted area. What do they say when it's raining and sloppy outside? Short, choppy steps. You play in the snow and the ice. Short, choppy steps. And a lot of times you saw it was really bad technique on the players. Not to really blame them because the field was trash, but I'm not too concerned about it. Nobody got injured from it. And both teams are playing on the same daggone field. You shorten your strides, short choppy steps, deliberate one-time movements instead of trying to do too much in one spot. But yeah, it was bad. Like I say, it is very normal in the painted areas for it to be a little bit slippier than anything else, even on artificial turf. But they were slipping in the plain green areas too.
One more thing.
Also painted played the factor. Yep.
One more thing before we move on from Super Bowl. Question for you. Do you think we'll see these same two teams go at it again in the Super Bowl in the next 3 years?
No.
All right. Because it's hard to make it back to a Super Bowl. We know, back to back.
Right.
Yeah, long to go win it, but it's hard to make it back again.
I'm saying no because the Giants are gonna figure some stuff out. Even the daggone Commanders they're gonna figure something out.
Well, see, the
thing
Cowboys
are gonna tighten some things up. So I don't even think they make it. I don't think they're gonna be number one out of the NFC East, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know. As good as Mahomes is, the road to the Super Bowl, it goes through, and I'm gonna put them in these order. It goes through Curly Head down there in Jacksonville, Josh Allen in Buffalo, and Joe Cool. He got the tougher road if you think about it with the quarterbacks. Oh, and your boy, Justin Herbert. So Mahomes got to see the boy, Hurts. Give or take on what Lamar. If Lamar go to Cowboys, man, I hate to say it, you got to put him up there. You got to. Because Lamar is that much of a difference maker. Man,
if he goes to the Cowboys, that's a dadgum all-star team. It's a Pro Bowl team.
He's that much of a difference maker. And what pisses me off, we'll talk about this next week, that they don't want to give this man his due diligence, his money. He's the closest thing to damn Vic that we have seen. A taller version, maybe would you say he's a little more?
I wouldn't say bigger.
His throwing is not better than Vic. Athleticism is close to Vic.
I'll say his accuracy is better. His arm strength, I don't think is better.
You think his accuracy is better?
I think his
arm strength damn sure ain't better.
Because his
athleticism is there.
It's crazy. If you think about Lamar Jackson, his numbers inside the pocket are insane. So he's a pocket passer who can just turn it on and run at any point.
But would you agree the athleticism, that's the closest thing to Vic that we done seen? It ain't been no other quarterbacks come in and do that.
Agreed. Because even if you look at Josh Allen, he kind of is more like Cam Newton.
Yes.
Right. Cam Newton's just a physical specimen.
Right. and Vince Young was kind of like a Cam Newton. He was elusive. He can get away. But the razzle-dazzle, wow you, we ain't seen a quarterback do that with his feet and his arms since Michael Vick. Right. Lamar's the closest thing to Vick that we have seen since Vick.
Fair enough, man. Let's move on over to the NBA since we're retiring football for a while.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I ain't talking about Braun. You talking about Braun? I'm muting my mic. I ain't talking about it.
You said not till next year, and it's next year, buddy. We're gonna have to talk about LeBron. Otherwise, people like this is gonna have to say
this guy's an idiot, and I don't agree with nothing that he's saying.
All right, let's take a listen.
LeBron James represents virtually everything I personally dislike about modern athletes. He's incredibly shallow while pretending to be an intellectual heavyweight. He uses social media to feign concern for working class and poor Black people. He's unaware that his financial success and cultural importance are primarily derived from an overvalued genetic gift rather than relentless work. He speaks untruths for power rather than speaking truth to power. He's disconnected from any semblance of a biblical worldview. LeBron James represents the antithesis of Muhammad Ali. LeBron sacrificed nothing for the greater good of mankind. He traveled the road. Nike, the NBA, the Democrat Party, and China paid for him. He's the Joe Biden of sports, a puppet the establishment installed to sedate men to the freedoms lost in pursuit of matriarchal rulership.
Okay.
I piss off enough people about LeBron. So I'm gonna let you talk on this. Hold on. First of all, Jason Whitlock is an idiot. He says some good things sometimes. 9 times out of 10, he says, I don't know, man. What I want to say about this guy, I don't think I can say on here.
Don't do it.
I can't say it, but me and you have talked about it.
Yes, we have.
To the point, I'm gonna get him on our show, and I'm gonna ask him on our show face to face.
Oh, shoot.
Because I don't get this guy. Is he doing it because that's how he really feel, or is he doing it because that's what he's told to do?
I think he and a lot of other, I'm not saying you, Dean. Before I say that, I want to preface this. I'm not talking about you or people like you.
I just don't like LeBron on the court.
I know. I think he represents a lot of people who are just simply jealous. There's a theory out there called Occam's razor, which basically says most likely the simplest thing is the truest thing. So I think it's just pure, uncut jealousy. He tried to make it, ESPN and other places like it. He got denied, and like many other people in his position, he's throwing a lifelong tantrum, right? I don't think he believes what he's saying, but I think that jealousy is so blinding that he can't help himself but to always be, as he likes to call, the antithesis of anything LeBron, Democrats, or anybody like them do. Right? I think that's the real problem. For him to say that LeBron is disconnected in different ways, yeah, sure, fine. He's a billionaire athlete, right? But to talk about what he is sacrificing, what he hasn't sacrificed, and the work that he doesn't put in, and calling professional sports and entertainment basically an overvalued commodity, I absolutely vehemently disagree with that guy. Because you can't, not one individual sets what values are, right? We as a whole decide what's valuable. Like NFL used to play football after they worked their regular factory jobs until people en masse decided that football was important enough to start buying merchandise, tickets, and whatever. And then it slowly became the monster that it is today, for one game pulling in 115 million people. So that dude, I'm pretty sure he's smart. I'm pretty sure he knows what he's doing, what he's talking about. But he is talking to an audience that actually agrees with this. What are your thoughts?
And that's why he went to Outkick the coverage. If you follow Outkick the coverage, they have never been fans of LeBron's, and not only fan of LeBron, of just guys of LeBron's skin tone. Let me put it like it. That's one reason why he went to Outkick. And as him being the same skin tone as LeBron, they done guinea pigged him to talk about, or just not LeBron, just of all people that the athletes that do stuff like it. If you go on Jason Whitlock's show, 90% of the time he has nothing good to say about somebody that look like me and you, whether it be athlete or not. And I'm not being this way, I'm not being that way. If you go on Jason, whatever he talk about, I don't care whether it's LeBron, I don't care whether it's Mike, I don't care whether it's Kobe, I don't care whether it's Steph. And we all know Steph is like, it goes down anybody. He ain't got nothing good to say. But if you talk about Tom Brady, talk about Aaron Rodgers, Wayne Gretzky, he got all the good shit to say. So I don't know if he's doing it on purpose, or I don't know if Outkick just done paid him enough to make himself look like a fool and do all this. Because Clay Travis has been on record known for doing a lot of this stuff. Clay Travis had got kicked off a lot of stations because of his beliefs. And it's funny, Clay Travis was the first one to hire what his damn name is again? He's an idiot. That's what I call him. The one just got done talking.
Whitmore.
Whitlock. Clay Travis hired him. Whitlock moved to Nashville. Outkick is out of Nashville. Whitlock lives in Nashville now. He had his own show on Fox Sport 1 with him and Bruce Broussard and all them. He antagonized and shit enough. They got rid of him. ESPN got rid of him. So when nobody else going to put up with your bullshit, when nobody else going to agree with all the stuff that you say about these athletes, but what network? Outkick the coverage. I find that very damn funny.
I mean, even the name is funny, like, because as a kicker, you don't want to outkick the coverage. You know what I mean?
Clay Travis used to be on 104.5 because he's from Nashville, and he got put off for some things that he said. But he's a smart guy. He's a lawyer. So, he had enough resources and stuff to start his own thing, and boom, there it is. But the thing is about with Whitlock, and I go on record, and I still going to record, I'd never be a fan of LeBron on the court. Never. It's just me. But I respect his game. I respect what he's doing at the age of 38 out there balling like that. I don't hate him, and everything he do off the court, he ain't did nothing of any sorts to make you look down on his name. Whitlock just being an idiot and just a dumbass, basically.
Pay the man. So
you got it. I got you, brother.
Comparing him to a Muhammad Ali and saying because Muhammad Ali went to prison at the height of his abilities and as a champion, right? Because he was standing for something more. Like, get the frap out of here. You know what I mean? You have no idea what it takes, obviously, because he's like us sitting here talking about it instead of actually doing the thing. You have no idea what it takes to be a professional athlete at that level, at that age, for that long of a period. And so one of the things that we didn't play is Whitlock talks about, LeBron James, it's the same thing that black men like to say, I'll take care of my kids. You're supposed to, which, okay, fine. But he's saying you're supposed to pass, Kareem's record, right?
Look,
I mean, just him even trying to bring that sort of thing up to make his argument lets you know right off the bat he doesn't really have an argument.
He don't got an argument. If anybody and everybody who watch basketball, right? LeBron been playing for 20 years. At the level he was playing with, he was bound to break that record. I think we all know that, right?
Right.
Magic Johnson went on record to say, if Jordan would have cared about breaking a record or anything, he would have stayed and did it. It's like Jordan had no desire to. Not taking away.
We talk about Jordan like he had that much of at this point of his career, he didn't have that kind of ability, man.
He didn't play 20 years.
I'm saying at the end of his career, he didn't have that kind of ability.
Jordan didn't even want to play. The man didn't even want to play no more.
Listen, Jordan stopped playing. Get out of here, man. He ain't no different than Tom Brady. Like
he didn't want to play no more.
It's almost like a sickness. You say he don't want to play anymore.
He didn't want to
play. Man came back twice. Like, what do you mean?
He didn't want to play no more.
Body, he had limitations. He had very obvious limitations. He still was giving people bucket. He may have even averaged, 20 points a season.
All in all, you in the league 20 years at the level that LeBron done played at, of course, you were going to break the record.
Yeah, but I don't want to get distracted by bringing Jordan into this.
No. We back on Whitlock.
Yeah, because what Whitlock traffics in is literally, I'm going to take a very little and make it huge for my greater purpose without any care of what kind of damage he's doing. I mean, he called, so in this country, we talked about this before, in this country, even though we're not the biggest country in the world, we have the most incarcerated people on the planet. and 90+% of them are black and brown. So you can't say to the spaces that we like black and brown people were only allowed to do certain things, and we've turned that and parlayed that into tremendous success and use that success like a LeBron James to get into other spaces. LeBron James is in ownership, like soccer teams. He's talking about on the NBA team, being a partial owner in the NBA team after this, right?
Yeah, him and Floyd Mayweather.
Right. The shoes, the schools that he's opening. Like, look at what he's doing with what he's giving. And he also showed a generation that you can go from a single mom, household to being a billionaire in one generation. You let them tell it, oh, it's going to take 4 and 5 generations. Like, no, that's not how God works. God can do it for you right now. People like Tiger Woods, LeBron James, like they didn't come from billionaire wealth, but they are now billionaires themselves. Jordan frapping shared clothes and shoes with his brothers, and they decided to work instead of play basketball and let him tell it they were better than he was. But they decided to work. But he's also a billionaire. In one generation, Dean. That's what we should be focusing on. Despite all odds and all the things that are going on in this world, if you feel like something's, someone's got their foot, their knee on your neck, socially, there still is a way out. I think that's what we should be celebrating with this record, with his success on and off the court. And a person like Whitlock is just jealous. And it's one of those things, just like I tell my kids, like someone, my kids come home and talk about, oh, someone is talking about me today. Well, yeah, because they recognize how awesome you are. And since they can't perform at your level, all they can do is seek to drag you down to theirs, which should bring us into our final topic of the night, coaching kids, aka bad kids. Now, there is a line of thought out there that says there's no such thing as a bad child. Mr. Dean, what are your thoughts on that?
It's a damn such thing as a bad kid. Hell, I got a few of them. But anyway, but coaching a bad kid, all coaches can't coach a bad kid because all coaches don't come from a walk of life that a bad kid come from. You know what I mean? Like some coaches came from their walk of life and you take to that kid better. And even if not, as a coach myself, kids know when you're out there for their best interest. They know. They feel that shit. And they're going to play hard for you. Even if they want to quit, they're going to keep coming back. Some kids come, like on the team I coach now, right? Help coach. We got certain kids to come out there, even though they like being a Winsfield Wildcat, they come for they continue to come back for certain coaches. No bullcrap.
Right.
Have wanted to quit and give up, but they come back for certain coaches. Every player on the team take to a certain coach. It might not be the head coach. It might be the guy down the line that go get the equipment and bring it. But every kid take to a certain coach because they know your best interest in them. They can feel it off you. The talking, even when you stern with them and you coaching them hard, they know you coaching them hard, not for that moment, but for life. Like they know that. I knew that with a lot of coaches. I knew the coaches who didn't really give a damn, and I knew the coaches who did. Dadgum, I called Coach Duggar. I called Coach Duggar dadgum racist one time, and I know he wouldn't. And still to this day, I picked the phone up and called him, or he called me. We can still sit down and have a conversation. What? That's damn, 27 some years ago, well, however long it was, like still. Like, I still call out my coach's coach. Coach Willie Morgan, man. It go on down the line, man. So a kid know that if you're out there coaching just to be coaching, or you really out there coaching for their best interest. You take a kid with no talent, right? We talked about it. You take a kid with no talent. A coach who just wants to win, he gonna coach up on all them players that's already good. They look over them kids that ain't that good. Oh, they can't help me on Saturday or Sunday. But if you take a coach that takes them kids under his wings, because every team you got a team of 30, you got about 4 or 5 that really ain't that good. Maybe 6 sometimes. They part of the team. So just because they ain't that good now, why you can't coach them and being good? Everybody ain't born with talent, but you can coach them up to be good. You ain't got to coach them up to be great, but you can coach them up, put them in the right positions that they're going to help your team out. And when they see that, they're going to play hard for you, but they see you ain't really talking to them at practice, or you ain't paying attention to them, or you put them in one drill, let them go one time, but you letting everybody else go 3 or 4 times. They see that shit. Can you see that shit? Especially the troubled ones, because the troubled ones, they ain't even getting no attention at home. You coach ball. Some kids, that's the only attention they get is when they come to practice, because they don't get it at home. So they feed off of that. So, like I said, you got some coaches that can coach up just talented players only, but you got others that want to take, like myself. We got a team full of talent on that team. But I like to take to the ones that really ain't got that much talent, because I want to see how good of a coach I am. Can I get this kid over the hump right here? You know what I mean? Because everybody ain't born with talent. Nah, it's just, I don't care. Everybody ain't born with talent. Everybody can't get out there and shoot a basketball right out. Everybody can't get out there and throw a ball 40 yards. Everybody can't get out there and just be the fastest. But with our help of us coaching and mentoring and coaching them up, you can get them from being a scrub to a decent damn player that get on that field or that court or anything else that they do, and they help contribute. Because I've seen it. I've done it as a coach, and I continue to do it. I don't need a team full of all-stars to win. You give me the mediocre boys and let me see what I can do. So you got to really get out there and coach. You can't be out there just to say I'm a coach and I want superstars. I'm not going to recruit a bunch of good-ass players. Winsfield Wildcats team I coach with, I got coach none right there. We don't do that shit. We take the kids who come and sign up, and we're going to coach them up, and we make it and play in the championship every year, if not win it. We're not going all around recruiting. I don't believe in that going around recruiting. I want my local kids that's going to sign up, and we finna coach y'all up to win. I don't want all these damn all-stars on the team. It's just not me. I always had a chip on my shoulder. I always want to beat the best team. It's easy to go out and get a bunch of damn all-stars and win game. And that's what I try to tell to some of these people who get online, talk about, yeah, I made this player be good. I made it good. Hell, y'all should be good when you go out and got damn 15 damn all-stars. Hell, you should be going out to win. Go out there and get 15 mediocre-ass kids ain't nobody else picking, and then you go take them out there, coach, and make it to a championship. That's when you're a good coach. I get tired of seeing people think they're a good coach because you coaching all-star teams. That ain't shit. And you don't get my respect. Excuse me, I'm a little passionate about this. Sorry, bro, but I don't like that. Go get the mediocre kids and coach them up to be great. Don't get the all-stars and try to, you already got great players. Go get the mediocre and coach them up to be great. And then show these kids that you're really out there for them and not out there for yourself.
So I want to talk more about labels. Because the question was, do you believe there's such a thing as a bad kid? And I want people to understand this. You said, yeah, I got a couple of them myself. I've seen them. I've been it.
Hell yeah, I was.
Right. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, maybe not a bad kid. What you described just now, your rant there, which is well said. I agree with everybody in the chat. Good stuff from Coach Youngblood or Pastor Youngblood and Coach Nunn. Amen. But you have to understand labels. Like, I just went through a situation with my youngest son. They thought he had some sensory issues. They wanted him to get looked at, possible medication. And all it was a huge transitional period mixed with my son was smart enough to understand the rules of his daycare. They can't really punish. They can't sit him in timeout. You know what I mean? He understood that, there are no consequences here. Well, yeah, I'm going to do what I want. I'm not coming to that gum circle time. I'm going to stay over here and play with these toys because you're not going to correct me in a way that is going to really affect me. Even if you look biblically, the name changing, right? Your name, Dean, means something. You understand? He changed. Like, there's a lot. You see it all the time in the Bible. Someone gets their name changed to mean something like the great one, the one who loves God and, God of all these different titles. So now when you call my name, you're saying, oh, Holy One, child of God, all this sort of thing. We have to understand the power of our words. So there's a new thought process out there that says there's no such thing as a bad kid. You may have a kid that does bad things. Like you said, they may be the only, when they come to practice, that may be the only time that anybody's giving paying any sort of attention to them. You understand? So when I ask that question, is there such thing as a bad kid? Like, no. There are kids that do bad things, but you can get into the weeds scientifically why that happens, psychologically, right? Some abuse, whether it's mental or physical, exists all around these kids. But just like you were talking about, we as coaches have to be able to take on any kid and coach them up. And I understand what you're saying. Like, it's not just about winning. It's not just about recruiting the best players and playing the best players and focusing on them only. You got to coach the whole team. Coach Prime was quoted as saying, 95+% of his players will not go to the NFL. So his coaching style tries to reflect that. He's trying to coach all of his players to be men, men of, in the community, doing positive things.
When you coach high school ball, right?
Right.
You knew that half of your players weren't going to play. That last game on senior night was their last football game playing. But you made their experience worth the while. That they can always come back and be like, man, Coach Gales made my senior year a hell of a year. That now, even though I ain't going to college for football, still maybe going to college, but maybe I want to start coaching. You never know. Like a lot of kids you're not gonna go play NC. You're not gonna go play D1. You're not gonna go sports and stuff. Everybody not gonna make it. We know that. But we can inspire them to do other things in life good, and it might inspire them to be a coach. It might even be a better coach than the coaches we had, better coaches than us. So it's a lot. It's more to it than just going out there and win. Do we want to win? Yeah. Who don't want to win? But if we lose, it ain't the end of the day. Because I know I get to come back Monday and coach these kids up better. If that's what I was doing. So that's why I do it for, and I continue to do it for that reason. Wins and losses gonna come. What we make these kids and later on in life, that's what important.
Yeah, but we have to, as coaches, teachers, leaders, politicians, we're supposed to be the ones who are taking on the task of, like you said, turning kids into adults, basically, preparing them for life. We talk about the issue, that number that I said earlier, of the most incarcerated people, right? We have the most jailed people on the planet. America does. Most of them are black and brown. Most of them are men. That old story about the elephants being over hunted for their tusks and therefore only leaving young male elephants, and those young males were tearing up the forests and property and killing people. So what they did, instead of killing them off, they reintroduced older male bull elephants into that herd, and it straightened everything out. So what we have to realize is that we've lost something in society today, and I think the biggest thing we've lost is community. The idea that, Dean, if you did something on 10th Street, it was going to get back to mom and or rest in power, pops, and you was going to get straightened out. That's community. Hey, maybe his father is locked up, but you come to practice, boom, there is a positive male figure who is going to help to mold you into a man. And that's what we're missing. We have to be okay. My biggest gripe with today's coach is, beyond what you were talking about, which is absolutely true. My biggest gripe with today's coach is the idea that, he's just uncoachable. I can't reach him. That's on you, my friend. If you decide to take up the mantle as coach, teacher, preacher, whatever you do in your community, then that means you take all the responsibility that comes with it.
Cause just like I do, coaching ain't easy, bro.
Oh no!
If it was easy, then everybody do this shit. It's some stressful nights at practice. It's some stressful games. It's some days you might not want to go out there, but you do it. The shit ain't easy, bro. It ain't easy at all. But we can't go out there with that type of attitude with your players seeing that, because they're going to take on that attitude. You know what I mean? They're going to take on that attitude. The players are a reflection of their coaches, and it shows on a lot of situations. I've coached against teams full of all-stars. We played against a team like it. And them kids ain't got no respect for them coaches there. They just so good. And the coaches don't care because the other kids are so talented. You always see a team that's well coached in how they prepare, how they play, how they warm up, to a team with just full of athletes and coaches just like whatever, they out here just because they good. You can tell in warm-ups and in a march to the field how they stretch, how they get ready for stuff. No bullshit. Like, you can really tell, man. It's crazy.
That's right. So I think for coaches like us, especially in today's age, I was shocked when I started coaching here in New Mexico at the fact that we couldn't say, hey, you're acting up, you need to go run it off, right? That's a form of abuse now. So all we have to do is change our language, which, hey, you're acting up, you got a lot of energy, go get better. Let's run this lap, right? Let's hit that hill. But this is what coaches are plagued with having to deal with. Like, we have to figure out a way to meet the kids where they are, play within today's rules, and reach today's kids instead of complaining every daggum time about, well, when I was a coach, you know what I mean? That stuff has got to just go. You got to figure out a way to use YouTube. Like, one of the things I was junior varsity defensive coordinator and defensive line coach on varsity. And what I told them, I gave them homework on the first day. I said, go find me an NFL or college player that you want to emulate your game after, per your position, and go find me a hard-hitting boxer. Give me Mike Tyson, Triple G, people like that. And I wanted to mesh that together, and I wanted them to then add one thing to it. By the end of the season, I told them, I want y'all to take these two aspects from these two entities and add one thing to it and make it your own style. Like, the idea of using YouTube and TikTok or whatever to reach these kids, we just are going to have to get better at that, man. And maybe I can't grab a face mask and cuss a kid out to the top of my lungs anymore. Maybe I just ask him how his day went. How's his life going? How's your mental health today? How we feeling? We clear? We loose? Okay, let's get you there. If you're there, great. Let's build on it. But that's what we have to do. We got to find more ways to reach today's kids and be okay with it not being yesterday's kids. I think that's a good place to start. Yeah, but before I let you get the last word, let me ask you one more question. Dean, how do you fix a broken pumpkin?
If the damn pumpkin broke, you ain't fixing it, because it means some bitch was smashed.
Pay the man 2 times with a pumpkin patch.
Oh my God. That was pretty good. Oh, thanks everybody for watching tonight, man. Sorry about my little rant on the coaching thing. I just get passionate about that because I see a lot of coaches in the world, not in the world, just out. They get all-star teams and they just they think that makes them great coaches because you go out and get the best. No, it's coaching from the ground up. It's what make you the best coaches. And I've been around it. I've been coached by it. I'm coaching with a coach now that coached that way, and I'm learning a lot by coaching with him. And it's a great value to learn. So you people out there that coach, I hope you listen to what we were saying about that tonight. You don't just coach the all-star kids. You coach all the kids on their team, whether what sport is in, because sometimes that's the only attention they get. That's the only father figure time they get. It's when they out there on their field or their court or whatever respectable sport that they do. And we got to know that as coaches. So keep that in mind. Once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Great topics tonight. Love everybody being in the chats. Next week, we're going to have a good one. I might talk about this Jordan and LeBron debate one more time. I don't know, because really getting on my nerve because everybody gonna have your own opinion about it, and this argument is never gonna be won. So I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not. We just might get on it though. But appreciate you for watching the show. Peace and love. Holler at y'all next week.